Good morning and welcome to this Thought for the Day for Friday. And today we turn to a well-known psalm. It's Psalm 139, and I'm going to read part of it. O Lord, you have searched me and you know me. You know when I sit and when I rise. You perceive my thoughts from afar. You discern my going out and my lying down. You're familiar with all my ways. Before a word is in my tongue, you know it completely, O Lord. You hem me in behind and before. You've laid your hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me, too lofty for me to attain. Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go up to the heavens, you're there. If I make my bed in the depths, you're there. If I rise on the wings of the dawn, if I settle on the far side of the sea, even there, your hand will guide me, your right hand will hold me fast. If I say, surely the darkness will hide me, and the light become night around me, even the darkness will not be dark to you. The night will shine like the day, for darkness is as light to you. For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful, I know that full well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in the secret place, when I was woven together in the depths of the earth. Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book, before one of them came to be. How precious to me are your thoughts, O God! How vast is the sum of them! It's an amazing and wonderful psalm that speaks of God's intimate knowledge of us, of our lives, of every part of us. It's a psalm that I have loved over the years to read with young mums with their new babies in hospital. And it's so encouraging to know of God's intimate involvement within our lives, even before we were created. As Ephesians says, before the beginning of the world, God knew us. It speaks of his care for us. So in verse 10, we read, your hand will guide me, your right hand will hold me fast. It's a wonderful thought to know that God is with us in each situation and that he is protecting us and guiding us, and especially as we turn to him and seek his guidance day by day. But there is a flip side to all of this. Verse 16 says, all the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. God knows everything that we think, everything we do, everything we ever have done. It was a preacher's device to speak of the thought of our lives being projected on a screen and everything being laid bare, every thought and every deed. And we know that there are deeds in all our lives and thoughts in all our lives that we really don't want other people to know. And yet this psalm reminds us that God does know. God does see. It's great that there is indeed a flip side to that thought. In in Psalm 103, we read, he does not treat us as our sins deserve or repay us according to our iniquities. For as high as the heavens are above the earth, so great is his love for those who fear him. As far as the east is from the west, so far has he removed our transgressions from us. The psalmist anticipated the gospel. We are in the season of Easter, the season of the cross and resurrection, the season of salvation and restoration, the season of new life. We're in that period leading up to Pentecost where we anticipate the coming of the Spirit and the completion of the package. And so even though we know that our lives are full of flaws, we can know too that God is gracious and that he longs to hold out his hand of forgiveness and restoration to us. It's in that life that we live day by day. Verse 17 says, "How precious to me are your thoughts, O God! How vast is the sum of them." So have today a great day of resurrection life in the knowledge of God's care, God's love, God's grace, and God's knowledge of you intimately as a person.